Hey yo, how's it going, boys? What is up? So it's back once again for yet another video. Hey, hello. Okay, so we did this before for Babu and well, Fa obviously. So this time we're gonna do Belial. This time Belial has been out for a few days now, so let's talk about it. Like what we have learned. This is kind of like the so-called crash course that I do. Yeah, so this is the so-called crash course and what I've learned, all those etc stuff. I don't really have like an entire list of it yet because this is all the stuff that we learned from clearing them for quite a few times right now. And yeah, I'm just gonna talk it. I'm just gonna talk about it. Yep. So for this portion, I'm just going to mention the what Belial has and what he does, what we have learned and what triggers he has, all that stuff. Like comps, like characters, grids and all that. Probably I'll try to list some later at the end. But this part is just all about talking the raid itself. Alright, so I'm just gonna do like a voiceover thing on like some of my clears. Yeah, and hopefully I'm not showing the fail one. Because that'll be embarrassing, yep. But let's just get right into it, eh? Okay. So first things first, he obviously has a entry trigger just like Fa and Belial as well. Wait, does Belial has it? No, Belial is like 99% or something, right? But yeah, his Babu, I mean, not Belial. But Belial's entry trigger is similar as Fa, where but Fa does like 30,000 damage. For Belial, he does 20,000 damage, which is like 199999. Yeah. So that's what it does. If you can, you definitely need quite a bit of HP. But anyways, that's the first thing he does. And then he will activate that he has this stack thingy. And then whatever this weird ass Cumin not Cumin, Cunning play. We were watching Grandpa's Kitchen earlier, right? We were like, yeah, cumin powder and stuff. Okay. Alright, jokes aside. So he does that stupid thing. Basically what that does is that he will do a random debuff, I think, if I recall correctly. Or wait, not random debuff, sorry. Random trigger. Not random trigger. A fucking trigger every 3 turns. God, I can't even say things properly. I'm R-word right now, I'm sorry. Okay. He does have a trigger every 3 turns, okay? Every 3 turns, he will have a trigger. You have to really pay attention to his turn count. So it's like at turn 3, he will have something. Turn 6, turn 9, turn 12, so on and so forth. Okay. And then another one is that you probably have to keep in mind is that he has this 10 stacks thingy. So basically what this 10 stacks is that he does a lot of different things. But to make things very, very simple for you, all you should do in order to decrease this is a global buff on Belial, by the way. So everyone in your party, everyone in your raid party will see the same thing. So what you want to do, you want to decrease it as much as you can to make your life a lot easier later on. Because there's one trigger later that will probably kill you if there's a lot of stacks. So in order for you to reduce these stacks, you have to destroy the omens, because this is V2. You have to remember this battle is V2. You have to destroy the omens, the triggers, whatever. Okay? So that's the one thing you have to really keep in mind. His other trigger, his other stack or buff, not stack, sorry. His other buff is he doesn't allow you to, if I recall correctly, it doesn't allow you to reduce his HP past 5%. So that means I'll get to that later. So it's like you can only damage him up until 5%. Okay? So that's the other one. So this is the first thing you get to see the moment when you enter the raid. So the thing that you probably want to do obviously is like when I start, you usually do all your debuffs and all that, right? But keep in mind that his main triggers, the HP triggers, he has at 75, that's one, 75, 50, 25, and 5%. Okay, so each of these minus the 5% one, meaning 75, 50, and 25. These 3 triggers, he will remove all of his debuffs. So whenever you debuff him at 75, 50, or 25, he will remove everything. Okay, so That's when you want to like save up your debuffs and all that. And then like the upcoming triggers on that, I'll just explain it as we go now. Okay, so that's what we are doing. We just got nuke and thing. Okay, yeah. So I'm just gonna go. Okay, skip. All right. So this is turn 3. So this is the first trigger you probably see once you reach your turn number 3. So once you reach turn number 3, this one seems to be like the same for everything. From what I've noticed, you always see this Goetia trigger, which you require to do 15 million damage. And if you think you're too weak to do 15 million damage, you can technically guard it, but you will get like, if I recall correctly, you get 2 debuffs, like the slash, I think. The slash, and you receive a little bit more supplemental or something, if I recall correctly. So those can be cleared, so don't worry. You can just ask clear, or hopefully you bring your own clear so you can clear yourself and stuff. So this one, usually people will try to clear, because this is kind of like one of the easier ones, and it's annoying because you want to clear because it's annoying, because you don't really want to get that annoying debuff. But some people still say fuck it and just take it anyway. So yeah, that's one of the things. So here's an example. Like what I do, I usually save, like if I'm usually using light, so I'll usually save it. I'll save a nuke, and then I'll nuke him at turn 3, and this will do 15 million at least. So there you go. And then once that's over, alright, press the buttons first, quick. Okay. So when this is over, usually after this is over, he will start giving this this annoying apple thingy, because of the whatever shit you got in the beginning, right? You got this stupid annoying apple thing. So this apple thing, the wiki is not updated yet, by the way, but it's already, this apple thing is already listed on the wiki, so you can kind of refer it on the wiki at the moment. So basically, this apple has 4 different types. There's all based on colors, and it all refers to the borders of your skills. So like red color, meaning if you use any red border skills, you will trigger the red apple. It only applies once, by the way, because once you use, the apple thing will disappear. Okay, and what essentially red does is that he will, whenever your whatever character casts a, like say for example right now, my Noah has a red skill, I use it. What happens is that your character, that said character, will receive 50% of his current HP as plain damage. So like say like 20,000, right? Current, like just round it up to 20,000. My Noah's HP, he will receive like 10,000 damage. Yeah. So that kind of sucks. The red apple is probably one of the worst ones in my opinion, alongside with the blue one, if I recall correctly. Yeah. So the other colors is green, yellow, and blue. If you really want to see like all the information of the apples, I suggest you just go check wiki, because yeah, it's quite a lot of things to explain this this apple thingy. But in short, these apples are not really good. The only decent one you may actually want to trigger is the green one and the yellow one, because the green one allows you to get healed if you're really low on HP and you're out of pots. You want to get some extra heals, that's fine. You can do that, but keep in mind that that trigger for the green apple, if you press a green border skill, you heal 10,000 to all your party members, but he will get 1 diamond, if I recall correctly. Yes, he will get 1 extra diamonds. And yes, I totally forgot one very, very important thing about this raid. This entire raid, you must not get him to full diamonds. Never get him to full diamonds. I actually forgot to mention that at the beginning, I'm sorry. So the whole idea is to consistently try to like delay him. But the problem is that if you delay him, he will be doing quad 6 damage. So it's like 6 damage to all of your party members. But you can somewhat bypass it if you have special delays, okay? So say for example, like right now I'm using light, right? Keg has a special passive where whenever you cast this spell, it will act as a delay as well. So in those scenarios, you will not take damage. You will not take damage at all. So like for example, if I cast Dispel like Noah's S1, I will not get any damage at all. So that's one prime example. Or another prime example on special delays is like your Ogi. Ogi effects that does delays are considered special effects, special delay as well. So I'm not really sure what you usually call them, but we just call them like that. So for example, like Earth uses Katharine's weapon as a main hand if you're using Tormentor dagger thing, because Katharine's dagger is called Arsene if I recall correctly. It allows you to delay on Ogi, and another one would be like Vite's dagger for dark, Metera's bow. You know, those just to name a few. Those are the few special ones that your MC are able to delay on Ogi, or other characters like Quatre, Clarice, Tanya, yeah, you know, like those there's so many other characters, like I don't know, even Funfu 6 stars now, right? So those are the few characters to name that has the special delay kind of thing. So just keep in mind on what you need for this raid. Okay, but yeah, like the whole character lineups thing, I'll just put it at the end. But just this is just to let you guys know, it's very, very important to know that you must consistently try to delay him. Try to not get it to full diamonds, because the moment he gets full diamonds, he will have this thing called Anagenesis. I think that's what it's called. Where it's literally the reason or the end trigger. Like, do not let him do that. So like, say for example, okay, if you're stuck, right? If you have no delays whatsoever, you cannot take any more delays, and he's at full diamonds. He has at the Anagenesis trigger. Do not do anything, okay? It's better that you do not do anything than go through that, because from what I heard or experienced probably, for anyone who did that went through that trigger, that gets yourself killed or something, the next player who goes through a turn, apparently he will get it as well, even though he's not even close to full diamonds. So that might be a thing. I'm not entirely sure about that yet, but seems to be the case though. So anyway, just pay attention to your diamonds. This diamonds and turn count is very, very important, and like all the omens and stuff. Try to not get to full diamonds. It's very, very important. Okay. Moving on. Alright, let's go. Alright, so I already explained all the Apple stuff already. So in short, if you can, do not really if you really can't deal with the Apple stuff, try to just ignore it and don't do anything about it, because it only is 2 turns. So if you can, just go through 2 turns and just let it disappear or something. So this is the other trigger usually. So this is the turn 6 trigger if I recall correctly. He will do this trigger, this Lemegaton, yeah, but we just call it the Lemeo trigger. So this next trigger is supposedly like the turn 6 trigger. You require to get 35 hits. Like, yeah, you need to do 35 hits to Belial to, well, get rid of that stupid omen, right? But from what I've seen so far, right, from my runs, or probably a lot of people, I think, they try to ignore this because 35 hits can be a little bit annoying for a lot of cases. So a lot of times you can just guard through this thing. But yeah, like once again, right, keep in mind that you kind of want to try to like destroy some of the omens, because you know, like, you want to decrease the stacks, right? Because as you can see now, it's like now my team has already managed to get it down to 8. So you want to get it down as much as possible, because later on you get to see something. I'm not sure I have it on this raid, but like, yeah, you get to see something that is not really that good, that nice to look at. So, oh yes, another thing I also forgot again to mention. He has a field effect. He has a field effect the entire raid, okay? I forgot to explain this another important thing. I am sorry, okay? But we are just winging it, like I said in the beginning of the video. This field effect is a thing where whenever you use your summon, it will RNG between 1 to 4. Okay? 1 to 4. Whenever you use a summon, there's a chance that you get either 1 to 4 turns of delay on your skills. Okay? So keep in mind, whenever you want to use your summon, try to use it after you're done pressing all your skills. You know, to be on the safer side. Like in case like you need to press a certain button or something like that. Make sure to only do that. Do use your summons after you're done with the buttons. But usually if you can, technically you can kind of just ignore summons as much as you can. So unless you really need summons like Typhoon and all that, then yeah, you can use it then. But yeah, keep in mind. So like say you use a summon, there's a chance you get 1 turn to 4 turns, okay? So like this one, right? See, now this is not used, right? There's a chance that you might go to 4 turns cooldown. That is what the field effect technically does. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, moving on. So this one usually we would try to like ignore it. But so what I usually do is that for my case, since I'm using light, I will just use my Noah S2 because this is a single hit AoE kind of thing. So I will just use S2 and bang. And I'll just usually say fuck it and nuke. Usually technically don't really want to, but yeah. It's fine. So like the other, okay. Moving on. Next trigger. So next trigger, from what I was told, is apparently 65. I always thought this trigger was at 60 or something. This trigger is at 65, where it's called Asmodeus, where you just need to dispel it. So it's very, very simple. You just bring 1 dispel, and you can get rid of this. It's actually very, very easy. And it's literally, this acts like a free, I would say a free stack reduction thingy. Because this is like the easiest, like probably the only one. I might be wrong on that. I don't remember seeing this on anywhere after 65, where you just need to use this spell. So a lot of times you want to use this clear this, just so you can reduce the stacks. Yeah, it's that simple. Okay, so another thing to keep in mind is that you want to, if you can, right, you should try to not do like what I did earlier, because I nuked earlier, as you can see earlier, right? So what you can do is to save up your nuke for 50. It's better if you can to try save up your nuke for 50, because upcoming 50 trigger has a very, very special trigger that I don't think the other 2 previous bosses have that kind of trigger. All right, let's just watch for the time being, I guess. Monica, grand delay is a special delay. Okay, oh wait, hold on. So basically, in short, the special delay thing is that as long as you're not pressing a skill. If you want to know TLDR on what special skill special delay is, as long as you're not pressing any of the skills. If it's like a passive, or if it's like Ogi or something, that's considered a special skill. That will work. That will not damage you. If you have to press a skill, like say for example like Octo, Urius, Vampy, any of those type of characters where you need to press a skill, that consider as a normal delay. Yeah. Okay, so now is the 50 trigger. This is another new one, 50 trigger. So what happens at this trigger is basically he will do 3 random elements from what I've experienced so far. 3 random elements will pop up on 50. Like 3 elements as you can see here. So this has wind, has water, and dark. Okay? So what happens here is that any of the elements listed on him, on Belial, okay? Those elements that attacks him will heal him. Will not damage him, but will heal him. So what you need to do to get rid of this is that any element that is not listed on Belial will have to do 15 million damage in 1 turn in order for him to get rid of this. Yeah, you could technically have some random dude in the party, your other raid party members to like attack him just for the hell of it, just to heal him. Yeah, you could do that, yeah. But yeah. keep in mind, this is quite dangerous too, because you know, like if you're not prepared for the to nuke, like what I am right now, it can be bad because you see, because you have these 3 elements and I'm not there, right? So technically I should also try to do the nuke, right? In order for, but you see, I nuked earlier. See what I mean? I already nuked earlier. If I saved it, I should have like my full meter ready and waiting for this. I can just bam, just go immediately, right? So usually you want to save your nuke, like the first one is at turn 3, the next one is at turn 50%. Whatever turn you're at 50%. But to put a little bit more on what I was mentioning earlier, technically you don't exactly need to have full meter, like a nuke prepared or something. As long as you have someone to like debuff or whatever, you can still take turns here. You are still allowed to take turns here. Yes, you're still allowed to. Like if your elements is not listed there, you can still do damage to him. That's literally what it means. It's just that if your element is listed on Belial, you will heal him. So the other ones will not heal him, like outside of these. So that's why like a lot of people tend to like advise or suggest that whenever you do Belial, you at least have 4 different elements, just so you can at least get the this thing safely done no matter what. But I think there's few times a lot of people even do like 1 element, 2 elements, and they just say fuck it. It's like if RNG was bad, they just say fuck it and just restart again or something. But for like, yeah, if you're afraid, then yeah, you can just go with 4 elements at least, and yeah, you know, you get the drill, right? Okay. Alright, so that's how it is. We're just waiting. I'm just gonna wait for debuffs from Mr. Magic. Okay, debuffs. So right now, because I think what I'm doing is that, yeah, so because I made a mistake, I am trying to like gain meter right now. Okay, so this is the one I was trying to point out earlier, okay? So he has another type of anagenesis. The one I mentioned earlier was that full diamonds. That he has a the end trigger that calls anagenesis as well, but he has a normal trigger that is also called anagenesis. So try to keep in mind there's 2 different ones. It doesn't show up here whether you can dispel it. You can't really get rid of it. But for some reason I managed to get rid of it once. I'm not sure how I did that, but I did that before. Yeah, I don't know how. But anyway, this specific trigger, the one that doesn't kill you, well, technically it can kind of kill you, but yeah, anyway. This one, the normal, not the DN one, it wouldn't kill you because this trigger in particular is very, very dependent on the number of stacks he has, okay? So each stack he has, he will do plane damage. The more stacks he has, the higher the plane damage it is. Each stack does 10,000 damage, okay? Keep that in mind. So if you have like 3 stacks, he will do 30,000 damage, okay? So right now it's only 1 stack, so he will do 10,000 damage to the entire party. But the actual nuke itself from the anagenesis thing is actually not painful at all. It's like, I think usually I've been seeing like between 3, I think the highest I got was like 5k or something. It's not that bad. Unless you really cannot take that damage, then yeah, you can just guard that, I suppose. So it's not that painful at all. Usually you can just attack through this. If it's better to attack through this anyway, just so you can get extra meter and get more damage in the sword, right? But yeah, so yeah, just keep that in mind. That's one of the main reasons why you want to consistently try to clear the omens, just so you can decrease this. This can eventually just stays at 0, and then it'll just be 0 the entire run. It's not like far where, you know, you have to consistently dispel him so he doesn't have his stupid stacks. He keeps going up, right? You have to consistently dispel, right? This is not like far at all. Once it's at the stack thing is at 0, it just stays at 0. So yeah, just keep that in mind. This can be very, very painful. That's why just try to clear if you can. It's advisable to clear the omens if you can. If not, then yeah, you know what to do. Just guard, or yeah, you get the idea. So this part here, I think what I'm doing is that I'm just trying to set up for the 15 million nuke thing. And I'm just going to take that 10,000 damage because fuck it. Yep. So yeah, because I don't think anyone else can do the 15 million damage right now. So it's like, it's up to me. Oh my god, the pressure's on. Shit, Monka. I was like, oh. And yep, there it is. And it's gone. See? Now it's gone. So it's actually very, very simple. As long as you have one party member or raid member in the raid that does 15 million, it's done. Like all of it is just disappeared. So everyone else can continue attacking as normal again. Right? It's just that simple. This raid is not as hard as you think as like what Far turned out to be, okay? Far is actually in a way, in comparison until now, Far is still like one of the harder ones. Because it's very, very confusing and his thing is very like puzzle-ish type of scenario. But then again, you just kind of Luca these days, right? So Alright, so from here on out, it's very, very straightforward already. But yeah, like, it's just keep in mind again, like, the whole 3-turn trigger thing is still in effect. So that's why a lot of times you always have to pay attention to your the amount of turns. So right now I'm at 11. So you have to really keep that in mind. So a lot of times, right, this is more like a personal preference kind of thing. A lot of times at this point when I'm gonna go to turn 12, right, what I usually want to do, I would like to be on the same as 25 because his next upcoming trigger is at 25, right? I want my 12th turn trigger to be the same as 25 because from what I've learned, you can actually have them both together. So it's like you don't really have to go through those triggers back to back because he does like he does his Gosher, if I recall correctly, where it requires you to use Fatal Chain. So if you actually activate one of his triggers like right now, right, he'll ask you Fatal Chain again, and then you go through 25, he'll ask you Fatal Chain again. Yeah, so that's bad, right? Because you know you can only have one Fatal Chain unless you're like super nuking or something. Like you can go through 2 turns or something. Yeah. So yeah, keep that in mind. But this is more like a personal preference thing. So this is just to like suggest what you can do or something. Like say for example, even like right now, CAG, you could use S3 to like kind of like how do I say, to play around with the turns as well. Because you know CAG's S3 kind of renders the target kind of like he doesn't do anything for a turn, but the triggers all stays there, right? So you can kind of like play with that. That's usually what I try to do as well. Okay, so we're just gonna wait because see this is what I'm doing. I'm trying to like hopefully be on the same turn, like turn 12 will be the same as 25 because yeah, but then again everyone's dead or something, so I was like, yeah, you know what, fuck it. Yep. Alright, there. That's the 25% trigger where it requires you to use Fated Chain, not Fatal, Fated. Yeah, I think it's kind of similar anyway. But yeah, you need to use that to get rid of that. So never use your FC at all in a raid until this particular portion of the raid. You usually want to save it until here. But the rest of this is actually also very, very straightforward. It's like there's nothing in between. So like after you get rid of that, all you want to do is just consistently just do the same thing, try to push him close, get him down to 5%, and yeah, that's it. And I'm here complaining that I just got mauled to oblivion. So word of advice, take it from me, 25% onwards, his autos fucking hurt. Okay. His autos are very painful. If you can at least get multi-attack down, that will help you out a lot. Like a lot, because he hits fucking insane. He can immediately kill off 1 or maybe 2 characters despite having 30 to 40,000 HP. Yeah. Is that bad? Okay, so yeah, moving on. Oh yeah, another thing is that I probably Yeah, it's probably better if you just go and look this up in the wiki thing. This if you're wondering what this pink color heart looking local buff on him, what it actually means is that he has a climax level thing. He essentially get this thingy, this climax buff thingy whenever a character dies. So as you can see, one of my characters died already. My Noah died, so he added one. Another of my raid member also has one character dead, so that's why that's 2 now. So yeah. So from what I was told as well, if you get this a little bit too high, there's a DN trigger somewhere as well. So just don't die. Damn, I forgot to say that at the beginning. Just don't die. Forehead, dude. It's that simple. Just don't die. See, now another character dies, so he's at 3%. Okay. So here's what usually happens at near the end, okay? Okay. Keep in mind, you are not able to do damage to Belial past 5%. You can only do damage to him until 5%, okay? Like right now. Like now it's 5%, right? You're not able to do any more. No more. You have to do a special thing where he needs to use his Lemeo Gaten. That trigger of his. Then he will allow you to do damage post 5%. So usually what you want to do, once anyone basically, the moment it's 5%, just guard. Because you're not able to do damage to him anyway, so just guard. So like right now, he doesn't have anything, right? So I'm just gonna guard. Yep. Guard, just guard. 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 Guess not. But yeah, just guard. You can just guard that. And then he would... So then he will do this Lemeo Gaten thing, okay? So he will do this Lemeo Gaten thing. It will hurt if you don't guard, so just guard. So just guard this. After you're done guarding this. Okay, anyway. Okay. There's one more thing I actually just remembered. I am so sorry. I totally forgot about this. At 25%, he also gains this special attack. Each of his attacks, like auto attacks by the way, he will reduce your meter to 0, no matter how much is it. If your meter is at 100, if you do not OG, it will go to 0. Okay? That only happens at 25% onwards. So, this is what I usually do, okay? So, this is what I usually do. He also, okay. Besides that, he also removes like, I think 3 buffs on you or something. So, he dispels you a little bit and stuff like that, okay? But, so this is what I usually do. Because he doesn't do that when there's a trigger. So, what I tend to do if you're using Tormentor or whatnot, I will always buff myself on the trigger itself. Just so I have a little bit more extra firepower when I need to nuke. Because at 5% is usually where the real, like, just throw everything you got section. Because it's the end already. After this part, you just can't do anything anymore. Like, after you do that nuke, you're just dead already. You notice regarding absorption buffs, I think some of them can appear together. Haven't seen fire and wind together, water and earth together, or light and dark together yet. If that happens to be true, it will be very useful. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. That seems to be the case, yeah. Now that you mention it, yeah. That's actually... Yeah, I didn't notice that. That's actually a good point. Yes, thanks for bringing that up, Cal. Now that you mention it, I also noticed because it's either dark or light. I remember that. That one I remember very clearly. It's either dark or light that is not able to. Oh, that's actually a good point. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's actually a good one. Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah. So there is a pairing there. Okay. Oh, he does? I didn't notice. Okay, but anyways, let's try to finish this a little bit. Okay, so try to debuff. If it goes off, just remember to always keep the debuffs up at this point. This is very, very important. Oh, another thing. I'm not too sure, is it only at 5%? Okay. But normal attack and defend down actually works here. At this part. Apparently it does. Because usually it doesn't, right? Like on bosses like this, you need a stackable one to work. But apparently it does to Belial at this part. And keep in mind that apparently when you activate this thing, right? When you do this Lemeo Gaten thing. Alright, so I guard that thing. Okay. Alright, so once you pass through that, right? Apparently, he will remove that so-called, what's it called? The Cunning Wings thing. Where he doesn't allow you to attack past 5%. He will get another buff instead. This buff is he buffing himself with massive, massive defense. His defense is super fucking high. Like, to the point that I think the highest I actually do was like 2 million or something. Despite super buffing myself like crazy. Yeah, apparently he just have really, really crazy defense. And from what I heard is based on the number of players in the raid. That's what I heard. I might be wrong on that one, but yeah. Oh, that also explains why GameWeave recommend Light and Dark with a Wind player as a go-to party. You'll love to see the exact defense of that face. Yeah, I don't know how much is that, but it's really fucking high. I'm not sure, is it really they just limit your damage, but from what I've seen so far, they just have really, really high defense. Because I tried to buff myself like crazy, and like literally the most I've seen was 2 million. That's the highest I've seen for my case. And my damage isn't the greatest either, so... But yeah. Because, okay, so anyways, at this point, right? At this point, as you can see, he has Anagenesis up. He's at full diamonds. At this point, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot delay him anymore. This is literally the end. This is your final turn for everyone, whoever that goes through and gets to this point. Nobody else can take any more turns after this. Once this is over, it's over. Once you take this turn, it's over. So be sure to not fuck it up like I did. I mean, you can just refer to my highlights, because there's one very nice Sabo thing there. But yeah, usually if you want, just get like Typhoon or something, or Long Dong, whichever. Get a shit up, nuke that fucker, and just pray hopefully your party managed to kill it. If not, then just cry, I suppose. But yeah, that's pretty much how it is for this final portion. So yeah, you want to do all your damage, blah blah blah. Yeah, I remember I did the CA reactivation thing too. And kaboom. You see that damage is just so fucking bad, right? Usually I would be able to see higher, but like I remember the max I've seen was really only 2 million. See, like that one. That was literally the highest I've seen, 2 million. I've never seen anything higher than that. Like, maybe if you have like assassin, you could probably hit like 3 million or something, but it's really, really hard to get like high damage in this section if you're like in a 6-man raid or something. But yeah, that's the gist of it. That's the whole rundown or crash course of Belial. If you have any issues on anything like that, if you want help, well, you can always come to the stream and ask, I suppose, right? But yeah, anyway, let's go on to the party selection thingy, I suppose. Man, this is gonna be a long video. You know what? I think I'll just put that as another video. I'll just put the party comp stuff on another video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Hey, hey. Okay, bye.